So thank you so much. I just wanted to share with you guys some makeup tips. I know everybody's mostly in the beauty world, but we're taking a barber course, so why does this have to do with makeup? Sometimes some of your clients are looking for you as like a go-to for everything, and it's really good if you can offer that. If not, always partner with a fellow stylist. Some men also want makeup. I can also do a demo on that next time too. But today we're just going to be giving Nancy like a look for her graduation, because that's coming up soon. So we'll be doing a nice graduation look. Sometimes your clients are going to ask you to replicate an image that they see online, or sometimes you can freestyle. Last time we spoke, you said I could freestyle, right? Okay. So I'm going to freestyle for her today, meaning I'm going to be observing her face, her eye shape, her cheekbones, her face structure. Always having that consultation still, like, is your hair going to be up? Is your hair going to be down? What color is your outfit going to be? Do you know what you're wearing that day?
No.
No, okay. So we need something that's going to be more like neutral. It'll go with anything, right? For me personally, I always like to wear gloves. Some people use like those little metal makeup trays that you can put everything on. You can totally do that. I always like to start with cleansing her skin. I use a mix of either cotton rounds and makeup remover, or just a makeup remover wipe. But I always like to keep both in my kit. Today I'm going to be using a makeup wipe. And in the event that this like gets too dry or picks up too much makeup, I always have a micellar water that I can respray it with. You always want to make sure that the client has nice cleansed skin, or else the makeup just isn't going to sit right. Because you can be a great makeup artist, but if the client's skin isn't in great shape, that's going to reflect in the makeup, and we don't want that. When's the last time that you've exfoliated?
Oh, a long time.
It's been a while. Okay. Always making sure, I always like to tell my clients, even if you wear makeup or don't wear makeup, skincare is always most important. It doesn't matter if you're like, oh, but I don't wear makeup, I don't have to wash my face, I don't have to do it. You have to. It's really, really important to take care of your skin barrier. That'll slow down the signs of aging, sensitivity. I always tell my clients, when you're at a red light and your window's down, that car next to you is like putting up all that smog and exhaust. That's sitting on your skin, and we don't want that. So
I have to take a picture before and after.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so after I do that, I'm gonna go in with just a hydrating toner. Close for me. And chin up a little bit. There we go. This is a cucumber one. Some clients love a scent, some clients don't, but it kind of just boosts the experience. Next, because she's telling me that she doesn't do too much skincare routine, I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite brands. It's called Swasu. So this is a serum that actually has powerful antioxidants in there, including ginseng.
Smells good.
So nice, right? So what I want to do is plump from as deep into the skin as we can. So we learned about the epidermis, the dermis. We want to make sure that we're plumping the skin as deep as possible. So we work from thinnest layer of product to the richest. And I'm just kind of massaging it. You want to build that experience for them, not just kind of tapping, pressing, slapping it on. We want to make sure that they're nice and relaxed, because they can tell your confidence in your hands. An eye cream. This one is from a brand called Shiseido. It's going to help with any lines, wrinkles, prevent your concealer from creasing. I like to start it from the outside and then just massage it outward. So any puffiness, we're just kind of flushing it outward. Not every client's going to have puffiness, but it's just a nice motion to get everything nice and smooth. How's it feeling so far?
Good.
Good? Okay.
Relaxing.
Good. Okay, next I like to let the serum and eye cream absorb before I put too much. And I always like to add in a lip mask during my skincare step, because when I put on her lipstick, I don't want her lips to be dry. This one smells really yummy too. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go into moisturizer. One of my favorites that seriously works on everybody's skin is gonna be the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. It's really rich and creamy, but not super heavy on the skin, which is great. It's just gonna give you a really nice base. Take a little bit. I like to start from the middle, the forehead, and then blend everything together. For some of my clients who get a deluxe makeup service, I'm taking everything down to the neck. Sometimes you only have 60 minutes with them, sometimes you have an hour and a half, and depending how much time you have, the more surface you can cover. I always like to tell my clients, be aware of the outfit that you're wearing, because we're gonna have a nice smooth complexion, and then when it comes to the neck and chest, if they have like spaghetti straps, you're gonna tell the difference in pictures. So always letting them know, add a body glitter, add a body shimmer, or a really nice hydrating body cream. Cool. So now that the skin prep is all done, personally I like to start with the eyebrows. So you have a variety of products for brows. You can do pencil, you can do pomade, you can do a powder. Always looking at how much hair the client already has will help you determine what you need. And she has a great brow, so I'm gonna start with a powder and see what that gives me for the buildup. And chin up just a little bit. Always be aware of your posture. Feel free to move your chair, pump up the chair, because depending how many clients you're doing in makeup a day, or even with hair, that's gonna start to take a toll on you. Then also I like to give my clients the option, like I'll ask you, Nancy, for lip colors, what do you lean towards?
Something subtle.
Something subtle. Okay. Do you like soft pink, soft nudes, mauve?
Probably mauves.
Oh, okay, cute. And gloss or no gloss? Okay, just matte. Every client will have their preference. Now when you're doing the brows, personally I like to start from the bottom back half, so you're not depositing so much product on there, and we don't want them to look bulky and heavy. We want them just to have a nice flow, give a little definition to them. And always step back. Step back and see how it looks. Okay. Have any of you guys done makeup before on someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your favorite style?
I like the classic look.
Yeah?
Red lipstick, eyeliner.
Yeah, that's always beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a brow brightener. This is from Anastasia. It's just gonna help carve and give shape to the brow. If you wanted to, I can see Nancy has a little bit of a brow grow out. Depending on your price, you can always include that in your price, or do it as an add-on service. Be like, hey girlie, concealer's only gonna cover so much of this, but I do wax brows and I can wax them for you. Whatever your price is, $22, boom. Most of the time they'll say yeah, because it's pretty quick. And then you just add it on another service. And you'll notice that it's a bit bright, but I like to go a little brighter on the eyes, because when we use our bronzer and everything, it's just gonna add dimension to our face. Okay, I'm gonna go in with concealer. You can always use a eyeshadow primer, but I find that this works really well as a double. And just start with very little. What we're doing right here is just evening out her color. Some people are gonna have really dark under above the eye. Some people are gonna have red. Some people their veins are gonna show a lot. Just want to give a really nice even tone to the eyes. Okay. Cool. See how it looks nice and clean? I always like to start with a fluffy brush. And because we added a cream, I'm just going to use like a mix of these two. Just to tap all over. If you were to go on with a powder directly onto the cream, you might have a little bit of a challenge blending it because the cream is just going to grab on. So I just like to lightly set with like a translucent color. Now look straight for me and open. I'm going to consider how high up I can see right here and how much of, close for me, of our actual lid is being covered. So if I just really focus on everything in here, once you open, you can see it disappears. So I have to adjust my placement for every client. With a big fluffy brush, I'm just starting with like a medium tone, something a smidge deeper than her actual complexion. And this look is gonna be super easy, but we want it to be easy but impactful. Unless you're doing a bride, then take your time. But for prom, graduation, this look is gonna be really nice. I'm just taking it on her outer corners and just doing circle motions. What we want to do is slowly build up the color. Open? Okay, cool. So you can see that when it's open, we can still see the color. Close.
I felt like digging grass yesterday.
Okay. For me personally, I don't mind if I go out too far because I always clean it up with concealer. I'm gonna grab like a nice little smudging brush and go in with a deep color. Close and chin up just a little bit. I like to take this right on the waterline. The lash line. Because now we're building it up. It's also going to give you a frame if you do any liquid liner. You'll have like an outline of where to place it. You're basically mapping it. Then I'm just going to take my fluffy brush again and just diffuse it so there's no harsh lines. Okay. Now I'm gonna grab another fluffy brush, but you can see it's a little more dense. And I'm gonna go even deeper, but just turn for me, just right here. And I'm only gonna take it up halfway. How's my pressure? Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions so far? So you can see in her lid where we have, close for me, this open spot. That's going to give you the perfect placement for shimmer. This is literally one of my babies forever. This is the Danessa Myricks Lightworks palette. It is seriously insane. You can always go with traditional shimmers, gold, something that looks like a highlighter. But for me, I like to really kick it up a notch. It differs you as an artist. So example, say she might be leaning towards wearing like a black dress. You have a little more flexibility in what you can use. If she's using a purple dress, something with a little more color, this one is going to be really pretty. You can always show them and ask them, hey, like, do any of these stick out to you, or are you still open to anything that I would recommend?
I think that you recommend.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to go in with this shade called Fearless. Close. And with these, you just want to press and tap it on to build up that color. And look at how cute that is.
Wow.
So pretty. Honestly, what I love about this palette is sometimes clients, like I said, are used to your classic champagne colors and everything like that. But at the end of the night, they message me, which is the sweetest thing, saying, I get so many compliments on my makeup. So many people were looking at my eyes. And it makes me feel good as an artist knowing that you had that impact, but the client's like living in that for the night, you know? I'm just taking it up right here. And look how easy it was to blend. So, so pretty. These ones are color changing, which is really awesome. So because it's color changing, you can like be flexible with your outfit. You don't have to just stick to one thing. And I'm just gonna lightly blend it over the black that we had added. Now, for the inner corner, which is right in here, I like to add a different color. Just to be a little more dramatic. I think something like Radiant would complement it really well. So what I do is look this way with your eyes and look down right there. The way that the client's eyes are looking is really gonna move that skin for you, because sometimes it's really hard to get in here. But if you just direct them on where to look, it helps you out a lot. Cool. And look at the difference, look at them. You see how it just pops in there? It's really pretty. I can't wait for you to see. You're like, I don't know. Very cute. And then look up. And I just lightly pull it out here. Okay. Now just, you want to look back and see if everything's proportioned right. Have our eyes looking up and look down for me. And I think we can just intensify here just a little bit. It's all about balance when you're doing the makeup. I'll take a little dark brown, a little bit of black. Also, I like to ask my clients, what time is your event? Are you gonna stay out all night? Because we need to know like how long we need this makeup to be on the skin. Of course, makeup's gonna last a long time. Of course, depending how you prep it and the products that you use. But you also wanna let your clients know, okay, you definitely wanna keep a touch-up powder. You definitely wanna keep a lipstick with you just to refresh. Those are usually the first things that they'll have to touch up on. Cool. Okay, so now with my flat brush that I used for under her brow, I'm gonna take my leftover concealer. A lot of us are nervous about like wing liner and the angle, but what I like to do is have my clients look at me and look down, and I'm gonna follow her waterline right here and just clean it up. And then look at me. Yeah. See how that makes a difference? Like, it brings a lift to their eyes. Super simple. And then, yeah, look down. That's why I don't mind placing my shadow a little bit further than where it would naturally fall, because I'm gonna clean it up and it's gonna work to my advantage. And just make sure they're even. Really pretty. And if there's any fallout, take your makeup wipe, look up, and just wipe it clean. Now you have the option, or you and your client have the option to put some shadow under her eye, like on her lash line. I keep it pretty soft right there, so I'll just take my flat brush and just do like a medium brown. Depends how intense. Sometimes I leave it just like that, or sometimes I add something. So look up. When a client's taking photos, I like to really remind them, if we do something too soft, it's not gonna read really well on camera. You're gonna need it to be more intense, but nothing where it's super heavy and you don't look like you. But you want to make sure that it looks really, really good and the camera can pick it up. See how that just defines her eyes a little bit? So next we're going to go into her complexion. I like to take a break. We have the base of everything down. Now let's get on her foundation. I'm going to use the gripping primer. I keep everything on the fingertips. Just melt it in. Do you like to be a little more radiant and glowy, or do you like to be more matte with your makeup?
More glowy.
Okay, perfect. Me too. Okay. So with this primer, always reading the directions. You have to let it sit for 60 seconds so it can get tacky. In that time, I'm going to be looking for her complexion shade. Oh yeah, that's gonna be perfect. Okay, and that time while it's drying down, you can clean up a little bit or choose the next products that you're gonna be using. When you're a makeup artist, you wanna make sure you have enough of a variety, but also using the color wheel to where you can mix your own colors and products. If not, you're just gonna have so much in there that your bag's gonna be heavy. You have to take this upstairs, you have to take it everywhere that you're going. So the more condensed it can be, the better. Buying makeup palettes that have condensed creams in there is always really nice. For me, as a makeup artist, I like to layer my creams first, meaning any of my liquid products, and then setting everything with a powder. I used to be just a powder girl, but that ain't it. Now I'm gonna apply with a really nice fluffy brush. And you see how, let me see here, when we drag it down, it literally matches into her neck. That's what we're looking for. We don't want to be able to tell like you have crazy heavy makeup on. And your client's going to notice. Once they're taking their pictures, once they're at home getting ready, they're going to notice a big difference in their complexion when it's not the right shade. How does this foundation feel so far? It's lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. And I like to have a variety of foundations that are going to work on young skin, mature skin, acne skin, any type. But it is really good in your consultation to ask your clients, do you have any sensitivities? Do you have any specific preferences? Some are only going to want clean beauty. Some are only going to want things that are like super, super natural. So just making sure that you can accommodate that, but also if not, being honest with your client, like, that's not the stuff I have in my kit, or yeah, we could totally do that for you. And for me, look, put your chin up a little bit. I like to just make sure I tuck it right under. How does her complexion look?
It looks flawless.
So even, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, I leave my concealer till the end because when I do my concealer and then my blush on top, the blend just is not there for me. I'm gonna take a cream blush. And let's do this one. Another fluffy brush. I like to pick it up and then look straight. And I'm just finding the top of her cheek. And turn to the side for me. See how it just pops her cheekbones out? And I keep it right up here. It's okay if you take it in a little bit because when we put our concealer, that's where it's gonna melt everything together. Some clients are gonna be like, I need a facelift, I need to look 10 years younger. A really nice tip is to bring the blush up. That's really gonna lift your face. What do you think of that blush color on her?
So natural.
It's pretty, huh?
Very pretty.
It's there, but it's not like the first thing you notice on her. Yeah. As a makeup artist, I like to layer my creams first, meaning any of my liquid products, and then setting everything with a powder. I used to be just a powder girl, but that ain't it. Now I'm gonna apply with a really nice fluffy brush. And you see how, let me see here. When we drag it down, it literally matches into her neck. That's what we're looking for. We don't want to be able to tell like you have crazy heavy makeup on. And your client's gonna notice. Once they're taking their pictures, once they're at home getting ready, they're gonna notice a big difference in their complexion when it's not the right shade. How does this foundation feel so far? It's lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. And I like to have a variety of foundations that are going to work on young skin, mature skin, acne skin, any type. But it is really good in your consultation to ask your clients, do you have any sensitivities? Do you have any specific preferences? Some are only going to want clean beauty. Some are only going to want things that are like super, super natural. So just making sure that you can accommodate that, but also if not, being honest with your client, like, that's not the stuff I have in my kit, or yeah, we could totally do that for you. And for me, look, put your chin up a little bit. I like to just make sure I tuck it right under. How does her complexion look?
She looks flawless.
So even, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, I leave my concealer till the end because when I do my concealer and then my blush on top, the blend just is not there for me. I'm gonna take a cream blush. And let's do this one. Another fluffy brush. I like to pick it up and then look straight. And I'm just finding the top of her cheek. And turn to the side for me. See how it just pops her cheekbones out? And I keep it right up here. It's okay if you take it in a little bit because when we put our concealer, that's where it's gonna melt everything together. Some clients are gonna be like, I need a facelift, I need to look 10 years younger. A really nice tip is to bring the blush up. That's really gonna lift your face. What do you think of that blush color on her?
So natural.
It's pretty, huh?
Very pretty.
It's there, but it's not like the first thing you notice on her. And the other side. And the motion I like to do is just kind of tapping it on. The cream is so blendable that it's not gonna give you like a tug and war where it's gonna pull your foundation. It's just gonna go exactly where you want it. Super pretty. Next, I like to go in with a little bit of contour. Once you even out her complexion, we need to add a little bit of that shade back. So I'm just gonna go in. There's another cream stick. And just add a little bit of warmth back. Now because this is a cream stick, it's easy to sanitize. So once I'm done, I spray the top and wipe it down. With the same brush, I just go and blend it out. And then chin up a little bit. And then turn so we can see, yeah, where we're blending. I take it a smidge higher than where her actual line is, because that's what's going to give you the most definition and really shape the face. The brushes that you use, you really want to pay attention to the bristles. Something synthetic is going to be a lot better for creams. And it works with creams and powders. Then sometimes be careful, turn for me. You don't get like a line here and a line here and it starts to look like that ice cream. Just blend and pull your foundation down. The nose, just give it a little shape. How's that looking? So pretty, huh? And not too much to where it's taking away from her natural features. Like Nancy still looks like Nancy. You're really gonna have to look at their forehead. She has a really nice size, so if I put too much of the bronzer contour here, it's really gonna close her face. So that's why I like to keep it just focused right here. So it still shapes it, but it's not closing her face off. Now we can go in with her concealer. I'm going to go in with something bright, which is going to make her eyes pop. But again, if I put this on her, it's going to be too white. So I definitely want to mix it with the concealer that I used on her first for her eyes. I never like to retouch my applicator where I already put the product in the brush. Always use like a clean area. And now I'm just gonna mix these, keeping some brightness in there. And then look up for me. And I like to take it all the way down here. What I noticed is back in the day when we would only take it here, it looks like you have like a sunburn from wearing sunglasses, and it's just like a white U shape. I don't like my clients to look like that. Then I'm just gonna look up for me, blend it right here. Just on the side of the nose. I'm gonna take my foundation brush and turn for me. Yeah. And I'm just gonna melt them all together. And you can see how flawless the blush blends. You don't wanna be able to tell where it starts and stops. You just want it to look so blended. Looks so nice. How does it look? Pretty? Then if you want a little higher, you can add just a pinch more back. I like to use a tiny brush just to really get in here. If I first go in with like my foundation brush, it's really gonna disrupt and go over everything that I just carved out for her. So just to really get up to the eyes, then I can use this guy to go in and diffuse everything. Okay. That looks so pretty. Yeah. It look good, girl? This is like the last of my creams. And I just like to make sure everything is where I want it. Because then I'm going to go in with a setting spray. And then I'm going to go in with my powders just to lock everything in. So close for me and chin up just a little bit. Notice that this is like a wet setting spray. That's what I like to do over my creams. If you do a wet over a powder, it starts to break it up a little bit. I mean, depends. If you do a lot, you'll be able to get away with it, but I don't trust myself that way. I like to do it this way. So one of my favorite setting powders is definitely Huda Beauty. It is seriously so good. Even on young clients, mature clients, what I like to do is put on a paper towel or whatever SMA mat that you have and work off of that. A little bit goes a long way, but what it's gonna do is really diffuse and smooth out everything on her skin. So again, I like to take a clean, fluffy brush, load it up, tap it in my hands. What I'm doing is I'm making sure the powder is in between every bristle, so when I'm putting it on her, it's not just like throwing so much powder all in one space. And just tapping it around her eyes first. Kind of carving out her blush. Picking up a little more. I want to show you side by side. And the leftover, I like to just diffuse it. And then show them a side by side. Like it smooths everything out for her. And you can see we minimize the glow where we don't want. A lot of times we want that lit within glow, but not that oily glow. Then around the nose. How does the powder feel?
It's light.
So light, right? Okay. So once we set everything, you can leave it like that. For me, I like to make sure that I go over everything like I said with the powder. So I'm just going to go over with the Hourglass blush. And you'll see it just brings the color back. See how this kind of softens because of the powder? But what layering these products does is it ensures that it's going to last all night. If you only do one, you have the high risk of sweating it off. And when people are going out to weddings, parties, graduations, they're dancing, you know? So we want to make sure that this always looks good in any event. Then I like to take a light bronzer powder. Same brush. I always like to start on the bottom. And then take it to the nose. You'll really have to get familiar with how much of a payoff this has. If it's a new product, I always like to start down here because it's easier to blend if you put too much. But if you put too much right away, like in the main focus of the face, it's a lot harder to blend.
Lydia, you always do the makeup after the hair is done, right?
Depends. That's a great question. It really depends. Sometimes you have to do it together. Sometimes depends if they're getting like a wash, like they're gonna shampoo it in their in part of their hair service. Yeah, I would do the hair first because you don't want to mess with this waterline, you know. But it really depends on the style that they're getting or the timing that they have. But yeah, it would be nice like once her hair is done, then get your makeup done. And then just kind of clip it out of the way wherever you need it.
I mean, if you have to clip the hair back up after this style, that would not be...
Yeah, you have to be very meticulous with how the front is styled and always respecting what the other artist did. The other stylist did, because you don't want to mess that up. I've had that where it's like I literally have to hold their hair and do it, you know, because I'm like, girl, I don't want any headband dents. I don't want any clip dents.
What are you applying now?
Right now I'm putting some highlighter just to add some glow to her. And take it right up on top here. Take a little bit of my setting powder, just blend. You always want to make sure everything looks nice and blended. You don't want to see any harsh lines. Next are going to be the last of her eyes. So I'm going to put on some mascara. Always ask your client, do you want waterproof? Do you want regular? What do you like, Miss Nancy?
Whatever's
The biggest thing is hygiene, so always having your kit of disposables. If you ever see a makeup artist using the actual wand, girl, run away. Run away. So load it up. Can only be used once. Now I like to tell my clients, okay, look straight, but look down, right there. And I like to wiggle the brush on, because that's really gonna deposit a lot of mascara. Okay, now look midway, right there. And then just wiggling it up. Let's see. Yeah, really pretty. She has really nice long lashes. We want to make them a little more full, so I'm just depositing it one more time. Some clients are going to have to curl their lashes, some not so much. She has a great lift to her lash. I'll do this one. If you ever get that, just make sure that they don't touch it, or you don't touch it, let it dry for a second. And look down. It's just gonna smudge all over if you do. Any questions so far? How do you guys feel? Like, you think you could recreate this? How are the steps?
Awesome.
Thank you. It seems like a lot of steps, but they're all necessary. Now, one trick that I like to do with whatever is left over on my wand, take off the excess and then just lightly, very, very, very lightly brush it into the brow. That's going to bring forward her natural brow hairs, so it doesn't look like they're just drawn on. You see a difference of that?
Yep.
Yes.
Right? It just makes them a little more 3D. Sometimes clients like will move, like, what are you doing, girl? But just reassure them, like, don't worry. I always tell my clients, like, I want you to look good. That's what I'm here for. I'm just lightly tapping. Okay. Now for that little spot, let's use this little wand. And it's gone. See that little spot's gone? You don't want to like tug and rub. I'll just mess everything up. So cute, Nancy. She looks so pretty. Okay, so with the lips, let's do a really pretty lip liner. Which is gonna be this one here. So she has a great lip shape. So that's super easy to follow. So blot for me. Remove the excess of her lip balm that we put before. Oh, sorry. And just start tracing it. I like to start from the bottom. Look straight for me. I like to start from the bottom and work my way up. And do the same motion on both sides so they come out even. And if you have your seller's permit or if you sell product, you always want to like reassure the client, like, girl, like this color looks bomb on you, this looks really nice on you, you know, something like that. Of course, be truthful about it, but this way they can know and be more inclined to making that purchase with you. Sometimes, like, oh, I have something like that, or I don't wear something like this. Really reassure them, like, you see them through your eyes and they're trusting that it's with like an artist, stylist eyes. And if you tell them like this is like your color, like they're really gonna believe you, which is great. That's something that I really, really love about this, is that you help people see themselves in a different way, and for me through color. cute on you. That is really cute on you, girl. Then I'm gonna take my lip palette. This one you can pretty much, you see the color wheel in there already. You can pretty much customize the color.
It's so black on her lips.
Right? So she wanted to keep it mauve, but I wanted to be a little bit bright because we already have a really nice rose color lip liner. So I'm gonna pick some of this one up and a little bit of this guy here. It's really, really nice. Then I'm gonna mix them. And something that comes included with my services is you get a touch-up kit. So always remembering what you mixed, because I'm gonna add that into a little jar. They sell these little baby makeup empty jars, lipstick jars, and you can customize it, and the client's gonna feel like it's so personal, like, oh, it's really cute add-on. Great for brides, bridesmaids, you know, they can't have a full makeup bag on them, but I just tell them, have a designated girly, whoever's gonna look at you before your pictures, and have them keep this with you, with them. Open a little bit. How pretty is that color?
That's a perfect color for you.
Right? Cool. Now you have the decision if you want to do wing liner or anything like that, but I feel like Nancy has such like a classic look that this looks so beautiful. Just fix your bangs. I'm going to show you with the mirror.
Nancy, don't wash your face until the graduation.
Okay, girl. Check it out.
Oh, it's so pretty. That's
Those eyes, huh?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yes, so pretty.
It's perfect.
Right? Like I always tell my clients, I want you to look like you still. I don't want to like fully change your features. Some clients are going to ask for that. They're like, I want that full beat, girl. But a lot of times they just want to look really nice and put together. And I think something like this, like the eyeshadow is really easy. I think we only used about 4 colors. We're really able to like accomplish that for her.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Beautiful
guys.
work! Yay!
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Nancy.